Alright, hey guys, how you doing? I've been doing a lot of arenas last week or so, the first week of the season, and Enhance is looking pretty good. You know, of course, there's the exceptions of the ridiculous classes at the moment: BM hunters, warriors, frost mages, or mages in general. Not really for us, but for our healers. We can deal with mages pretty easily, but our healers can't. Our healers just die in deep freezes in the silence, which is kind of problematic. But other than that, we're looking really freaking good in arenas, I would say. But this video is not going to be about that. Right now, I'm just going to want to try to convince people or put to rest, or maybe, I don't know, settle the question of how you should stat Reforge as Enhancement, Haste, Mastery, Crit. First of all, I'm going to say that Enhance is a magnificent creature. It's really not. I think there are actually several ways you could go. The Mastery route is probably not. I'm going to argue that it's not that great because it really puts all of your eggs in one basket. If you go Mastery, it means you're pretty much totally relying on Ascendance to kill something, basically, or to put enough pressure for you to get a kill, because your consistent damage isn't going to be as good, nearly as good. Your purges aren't going to be as good. Your heals aren't going to be as good. Your mobility isn't going to be as good. Stacking Mastery, you're only going to be doing some damage with Lava Lash, maybe some damage with Shocks, but Shocks don't do that much damage at all, and Descendants and Fire Elemental, and maybe Storm Lash, and that's just about it. Other than that, your effectiveness isn't that great. Your utility isn't great. You can't drop totems very fast. You can't get your attacks off very fast, and all that. And with Haste, you can get your attacks off a lot faster, including Purge, including shifting into Ghost Wolf to improve your mobility. So if you can get your attacks off faster with Haste, then that actually increases your damage more. Even besides, your auto attacks and your purges. Purges are a huge thing. If you want to be viable in RBGs, if you want to be wanted in RBGs, purge spam on a kill target by a shaman stacking, enhancement shaman stacking haste, especially with flurry multiplier, and that we can attack while we're purging. Something will die. It's a lot better than elementals or priests or restos, even with their purge glyph. Enhancement's purge spam is by far the best. It's way better than Mortal Strike can be as well, because you can purge offensive things, purge defensive buffs, all kinds of stuff. But alright, so right now I've reforged all my gear out of Haste. So right now my Haste is at 2,220, 5.22%, and my attack speed's 2.13, 2.14, so average 2.135 maybe. I'm going to attack this thing, get Flurry real quick. Alright, so I got Flurry. And how much did that go up? It went up to 1.81 and 1.812 attack speed. And, oops, missed it. And how much haste? The haste doubled, basically. Yeah, not doubled. Increased by 50%. So 3,330 haste. For, let's see, 3,330 for 7. What was that? 7.84% speed for casting as well. And so I'm gonna reforge my gear back, and then I'm gonna do this again and see what the changes are, and then do some calculations after that. Alright, I'm back, and I just did some reforging, and right now my mastery's at 31.67%. Before, I don't know if I said, it was at 36.72%. And on my haste, it's now at 4,143, and that's an increase of 1,923 rating. So Now, my non-flurry attack speed is 2.05. It was 2.135. And my flurry attack speed is 2.05. No, not yet, 2.05. Whoops. Wrong button. Come on, hit the flurry. Okay. Now my flurry attack speed is 1.705 to average those two. So I did some calculations as well, and for non-flurry, that increases my attack speed by 4.14% increase, going from by increasing my haste rating by 1,923. And with flurry up, which increases the haste rating by 50%, my attack speed went up by 6.45%, and that's not only attack speed. That 6.45% is also my global speed, my spell haste. How fast I'm able to use my abilities. Fast I'm able to use my abilities and get through all my cooldowns, all the attack cooldowns when I need to, and purges and whatever, Ghost Wolf, whatever. So I also did a calculation for the mastery. Now, I switched out 1,923 mastery. I got an increase. I got 1,923 more haste. I got an increase of 4.14 in total effectiveness. That's pretty much total effectiveness. Being able to get all your cooldowns out, all your globals out faster, and your attack speed faster. And that means heals. That means pretty much everything, almost. My total effectiveness by 4.14%. And with flurry up, it increased it by 6.45% because haste is multiplied. Now that same amount of mastery would have given me, the same amount of haste rating converted to mastery would have given me 6.36% of elemental damage more. And you see I'm at 31.67% right now. And so that would have been, so all that mastery, if I just converted it straight, or all that haste, if I just converted it straight to mastery, it would have given me a 4.8% boost to elemental damage. Now with flurry up, haste is by far the best, the better rating. But the caveat is, well, that's with flurry up. And for right now, since our crit chance is so low, it's only 18.13%, flurry is not going to be up all the time. But the thing is, haste increases, like I've been saying, increases the effectiveness of everything, while mastery increases just the effectiveness of your elemental damage, not your heals, not your storm strike, barely your lava lash, not all your utility or anything like that. It does your elemental, but haste also increases the damage on some of that stuff, like your lava lash increases the damage of your lava lash because you're able to use it faster and let the cooldown come up quicker. So, and it increases in like talents like flurry, like Unleash Fury. With flurry up, it'll increase the damage by Unleash Fury, the lightning damage, more than mastery will, because the flurry attack speed, with the flurry increasing the haste, it increases the number of attacks more than mastery increases the elemental damage, the lightning damage that'll do. So now this is with, and now you have to remember that mastery gets slightly worse over time, because as a percentage increase of your current damage, mastery gets less and less. If the same rating will increase your elemental damage by less and less the more mastery that you have. But that's not the case with haste. At least the last time I checked it. At least the last time I tested it out. Which was on the PTR. I had a ton of money. You had all that free money. I just did a ton of testing on the PTR. I need another point of haste to test that out truly, if it's still the case. But I'm pretty sure it's still the case. I hadn't seen anything that said otherwise. So maybe right now with just honor gear, stacking mastery is fine. Though I haven't seen any enhancement shaman stacking mastery doing better than I am on, at least on my battle group. This is BG9. This is pretty damn tough battle group on other battle groups. On lesser battle groups, I've seen some mastery stacking shamans get 2200 or something. My max rating was 2200 last week, but we tanked it because we just willingly rolled into KFC and we're getting pissed off. But yeah, why not? But I haven't seen any enhanced stacking mastery do too well. And because you have to remember, it's only elemental damage, right? It's not all your other stuff. You need as many globals as you can. But, you know, what I was saying, that with this low gear, while our crit rating, or our crit chance is still really low because we don't have the agility and the crit rating that we will later, especially like in the next season, and we don't have the boost of a flurry to our haste. Mastery might be okay, but it's still going to get worse. By the time we have full malevolent gear, I think it'll be undoubtable that haste crit will be way better to stack than mastery at all. Especially in RBGs, if you want to kill stuff. In RBGs, purge spam is the only reason to bring enhancement shaman. Pretty much everything has better. Most of the stuff has better burst. Most other stuff has better survivability. Everything. You can hex and shock off targets, and then purge, and then stormlash, and then maybe bloodlust if you don't have anything else that can do that. And then ascendance is good, pretty good burst too. But other than that, it's purge spam a target, and it will die. In arenas, you will not live if you're stacking mastery. I've only faced like another enhancement shaman a couple times, and I just destroy him because they're stacking mastery, and I could just pop my defensive cooldowns when they're ascending, and after that they're dead because I can purge more faster than them, I can heal faster than them, I can do more damage outside of cooldowns, more damage than they can outside of cooldowns, outside of ascendance. And even in ascendance, it's really a slight difference, but even in ascendance, stacking haste as opposed to stacking mastery, yeah, maybe only like a slight difference, like pretty insignificant. The only real difference is in the storm bolt, what your stormlash changes into. But other than that, it's not much. Like you get more auto attacks than you will with mastery, and you'll get more auto attacks than mastery will increase your auto attack damage with haste while flurry is up. That's the caveat. Mastery for now, while it's so low, will be a little bit better than haste, but once you get up, like I would never ever go up 40% mastery rating. Really, I wouldn't even go up above like 36% or so, because it's just going to get worse and worse. Well, haste doesn't do that. So yeah, it maybe kind of depends on your preference playstyle. You have to be pretty damn good if you're going to be stacking haste, especially later if you're going to be stacking haste to the max while we have more rating, because in order to use haste effectively, you need to be using abilities on cooldown all the time. So it takes a lot of practice to do. But in general, haste is just far more useful in more situations than mastery is. Especially, I even have the ancestral swiftness talent. I mean, it's such a big difference compared to little haste and not ancestral swiftness. It's ridiculous. And if you try it and you're able to get the global cooldowns off quick enough, you probably won't want to go back. Yeah, I'll just say that. So, but it could depend on playstyle now, but by the time you get full malevolent, it won't be a question, I don't think. Once you're crit, I don't know how, I can't get into the arena pass, the tournament realm, and see what the stats are with full malevolent, but it's a lot better, especially since they nerfed the item level on the honor gear. It's a huge jump. I'm going from 458 to 483 item level. I mean, just looking at the chest compared to the helmet, it's like a 30%. I think it's a 30% increase in stats, something like that. I'm going from honor to malevolent gear. So by the time full malevolent. If you're stacking crit and haste, you'll probably have about at least 13%, maybe 12% haste. Yeah, probably 12% haste, and along with the agility, probably 22% crit chance, at least maybe 23%, which I think will be enough to keep flurry up for a reasonable amount of time. But yeah, I'll be coming out with more arena videos, and you might see, I don't know, just how important haste is, especially with the damage, how crazy it is now. Like, you're not going to survive BM or hunter damage, or even mage damage while stacking mastery. And also I stack resilience gems too. So I'm pretty unkillable against casters. So they just go and kill my healer, or at least mages do. But it could be kind of a preference now. You're never going to be able to use Elemental Blast while stacking Mastery because you need the haste to even be able to cast it in the first place. So that's useless. You're going to be forced down Unleash Fury or Primal Elementalist sometimes. Elemental Mastery I don't like to take because I stack haste already, and I don't really, and 30% extra haste while stacking haste might be a little bit of overkill. There's just going to be a lot of global cooldowns you might not be using unless you're just spamming purge like crazy. Besides that, so yeah, I like the consistent haste from Ancestral Swiftness, and the instant hex is awesome. I really want to use Ancestral Swiftness with Elemental Blast, but I need more haste to even use it, Elemental Blast, for it to be effective, because you need to use it to be better, to even consider it over Unleash Fury. And damage cannot be this high at the moment, because you sometimes just need time and not having to use your Maelstrom procs on Blast all the time. Hard casting Elemental Blast would be good. So yeah, once gear gets better, the haste and crit's gonna get even better. But right now it might be kind of a choice. As I said before, I haven't seen many Mastery Enhancement Shamans doing that great. I just destroy them if I ever see one. But yeah, Mastery is just, haste is just way too great to pass up, especially when you get a lot. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But you can probably make your own decision on it for now, depending on your playstyle and how well you are, how good you are at rotation. I'll probably do a rotation video sometime later, and a macro video, and some other kind of video. I've been getting requests for all kinds of videos. This is for now. You make your own decision. That's my opinion, and you can judge on your own. Okay, I forgot one thing. You might be saying to yourself that asking me, you're saying hubris, but doesn't the haste, in order to be more effective than mastery, require crit rating to be more effective? And yes, but there's a synergy between haste and crit rating. The more haste you have, that means the more of your damage is going to be coming from your auto attacks, basically. Your auto attacks, and you're going to be healing for more. And crit and mastery doesn't do anything for auto attacks and storm strike damage. And then what else? Any other damage? I guess that's our only physical damage. I need to get recount to see exactly where my damage is coming from. But as long as auto attack damage and physical damage is at least half of your total damage, as at least half of my total damage, then crit becomes even stronger than mastery will. And that'll be true later, or even way later, once you have a lot more haste. I'm pretty sure that it's pretty close. You also have to consider that you have the increased critical effect gem, meta gem, which is probably the best meta gem. Well, if you have it, I use it. And you also have to consider that my mastery is already at 31%, but my crit rating is my crit chance is at 18% for physical and 9.38% for spell. So you don't just look at the percent increase, the plus percent increase. You look at how much it increases your current damage. So 1% of crit, will increase my spell damage more than 1% of mastery will. 1% of crit, yeah, will increase my spell damage more than 1% of mastery will. So in terms of increasing your spell damage, crit is probably 100 or probably 60%, has probably 60% the effectiveness of mastery. And then plus you add on the fact that crit affects your physical damage while mastery doesn't. And so really, once you start stacking haste, even critical hit chance becomes better than mastery at increasing your damage kind of overall. Maybe not, probably, yeah, you're not your ascendance damage though. Definitely not your ascendance damage, and definitely not your like elemental damage, your fire elemental damage. But most of your other damage, not your shock damage of course, but most of your damage will be coming from auto attacks and storm strike and maybe wolves attacks. And that's not a bad thing. Like definitely with haste though, it's a good thing to stick to your target. Like you probably need to practice sticking your target a lot, but it's not too hard with Frostbrand and resilience stacking to make you tougher, so that you can actually go toe to toe with other melee. And the haste actually helps you heal yourself as well. So it's not too difficult at all. And so yeah, crit doesn't become like some kind of liability. It actually starts to get better, even better than mastery is. And increasing your damage, even your burst damage. Besides your ascendance burst damage. So yeah, and that's that. But that's only up to a point, so it's not like it's a big cost. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna end it there, and see you soon. Next time I'll be releasing a lot of videos, releasing more Rooney videos, maybe some battleground videos. Yeah, all that.